The time is 6:15. Here is the news, edited by Dhirini Gunawardana, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. The Committee on Public Finance directs to take immediate measures to regulate online casinos. Operations of the Western Region Solid Waste Management Project will commence in August. Bilateral ties between Russia and Sri Lanka are further enhanced. The final draft of first Charter on Patient Safety presented to Parliament Committee. Plans are on the way to finalize the draft of the new bill with provisions for the disabled community. Foreign news, UN Security Council backs US-Israel Gaza ceasefire plan. Sports news, boxing. Boxers for Seychelles Constitutional Day tournament are named. Local news in detail. During the meeting of the Committee on Public Finance, it was disclosed that even though it is clearly stated by law that online casino operations cannot be carried out in the country, online casinos operate in the open, depriving the state of the revenue due without any implications. The chair of the committee, Dr. Harsa de Silva, directed that a letter be sent to the Minister of Finance requesting for this immediate attention regarding the matter. This was taken into discussion at the Committee on the Public Finance, which met under the chairmanship of Dr. de Silva recently, according to the Communication Department of Parliament. The importance of establishing a casino regulator was also highlighted at the Committee on Public Finance. Officials representing the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank were also of the view that many issues pertaining to casinos can be resolved following the establishment of a casino regulator. The chair instructed the officials present to take immediate measures and not to delay further the necessary laws to establish a regulatory authority, which is very important to attract foreign investors and to collect the revenue due to the government from the casino business. Western Region Solid Waste Management Project Director and Engineer Sarath Bandara said that the construction of the solid waste management system has been completed. Operations of the project will be commenced in August. The trial operations of the project are currently underway. The project aims to find a solution to the issue of disposal of solid waste in Colombo. 2 solid waste transmission centers have been constructed in Kalania and Puttalam. 4 Chinese power sets have been imported and 94 waste containers have been purchased to transport waste to the Aruwakkalu Sanitary Landfill project. The total cost of the project is $130 million. The presentation of the final draft of the Charter to ensure the safety and well-being of the patients in the South Asian region took place in Parliament recently under the chairmanship of the Speaker of the House, Mahindayappa Abeyewardena. According to a Parliament statement, this final draft has been prepared by the subcommittee of the Sectoral Oversight Committee on Health and its panel of experts on the advice and guidance of the World Health Organization. This charter is considered to be the first charter prepared to ensure the safety and well-being of patients in the South Asian region. The final draft of the charter to ensure the safety and well-being of these patients was presented to the chair of the Sectoral Oversight Committee on Health, Mayantha Disanayak, by chair of the subcommittee appointed by the Sectoral Oversight Committee on Health MP Upul Galapathy. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Your next generation digital banking partner, People's Bank.
Continuing with more local news, Education Minister Sushil Premchandra said that it is expected to conduct the GC Advanced Level Examination by September in 2025. However, the examination of the 2024 has been scheduled for November. He further said that steps are being taken to ensure that students who complete their GCE ordinary level examination can complete their advanced level examinations within 2 years. As part of this, the Education Minister has introduced the commencement of advanced level classes soon after the completion of the GC ordinary level examination and prior to the release of results. Minister Prem Chand assured that through this system, the previous 3 to 4 months break while awaiting results will be forsaken, enabling students to continue their higher studies and complete their advanced level education within the stipulated period of 2 years. The Parliamentary Caucus for Persons with Disabilities met in Parliament recently under his chairmanship of MP Dalasala Peruma. The caucus intervened to finalize the draft of the new bill with provisions including the establishment of a new commission for the disabled community. The chairperson urged all relevant parties to take immediate steps to finalize the new bill, which includes provisions including the establishment of a new commission to secure the rights of the disabled community. The officials were informed to submit the final draft bill to the caucus during this week. This bill is prepared according to the United Nations Charter for the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. MP Alhaprim also pointed out that the Ministry of Women, Children Affairs and Social Empowerment and the Ministry of Justice should jointly draft this bill. He further emphasized the need to end this matter quickly with the intervention of all parties, including the Legal Draftsman's Department, the Attorney General's Department and the Ministry of Justice, noting that the final bill can be prepared following the opinions of other relevant parties. That ends local news.
Enjoy seamless shopping. Open LCs, settle bills and transfer funds instantly, anywhere and anytime. With People's Bank Digital Solutions, you're empowered to do more, whenever and wherever you want. Unlock a world of modern banking conveniences with People's Bank, your next generation digital banking partner. People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Foreign Minister Ali Sabri, who is currently in Russia to participate in the BRICS 2024 Foreign Ministerial Session with the developing countries, had a bilateral meeting with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Monday. The Embassy of Sri Lanka in Moscow said that the two foreign ministers agreed to further enhance bilateral ties, including the spheres of tourism, higher education and economic cooperation. That came to you on Main News Story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, the Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Panita Mahipala, warns that Sri Lanka is facing a health crisis of non-communicable diseases, which accounts for 89% of deaths. The hardest hit are those aged 50 to 60, with 4 out of 10 falling victim to non-communicable diseases. Each year, 60,000 Sri Lankans suffer strokes, resulting in 4,000 deaths and leaving thousands with serious health issues. That ends Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
Headlines first. UN Security Council backs US-Israel-Gaza ceasefire plan. Malawi Vice President's plane is found with no survivors. India faces the longest heat wave in recent history. World News in detail. The United Nations Security Council has voted to support a US resolution backing a ceasefire plan for the war in Gaza. The proposal sets out conditions for a full and complete ceasefire, the release of hostages held by Hamas, the return of dead hostages remains and the exchange of the Palestinian prisoners. 14 of the 15 Security Council members voted in favor of the US drafted resolution. Russia abstained. The resolution states that Israel has accepted the ceasefire proposal and urged Hamas to agree to it too. President Lazarus Chakwera has said the wreck of the plane carrying Malawi's vice president has been found with no survivors. Saulos Chilima, the 9 others, were flying within the country yesterday morning when their military aircraft disappeared from airport radars. In a news briefing day, President Chakwera said that the Malawi Defence Force commander informed him that search and rescue operations has been completed and the plane was found, adding that he was deeply saddened and sorry to inform Malawians of the terrible tragedy. A severe heat wave continues to wreak havoc in India as the eastern state of Odisha on Monday reported 8 deaths within a 72-hour period. Officials' figure released in May suggested 60 people died between March and May across India due to heat-related illnesses. But the number is likely to be much higher as heat-related deaths go unreported in rural areas. Officials say India is in the middle of the longest heat wave it has ever seen, as temperatures crossed 50 Celsius in some areas recently. To wrap up the evening news, world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. UN Security Council backs the US-Israel Gaza ceasefire plan. Malawi Vice President plane is found with no survivors. India faces the longest heat wave in recent history. That ends world news.
Development news.
At a discussion held with President Ranil Wickremesinghe yesterday, Indian Senior Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar highlighted plans for an industrial zone in Trincomalee to be established by the Indian government, which will attract numerous Indian investors and potentially investors from other countries. He further addressed the swift resumption of the development projects initiated in Sri Lanka with Indian investments, which had been halted midway, assuring that he would visit Sri Lanka soon to expedite the commencement of development projects funded by Indian investments. That came to you on Development News.
Moving on with sports news.
Boxing news. The Boxing Association of Sri Lanka has selected 4 senior boxers and 2 junior boxers for the Constitution Day Boxing Tournament of Seychelles, scheduled for June 21st and 22nd in Seychelles. The selection tournament, held in 4 weight classes, saw boxers from Sri Lanka Army, Sri Lanka Air Force and Sri Lanka Police selected at the Jayatilaka Indoor Stadium in Navalapiti recently. The senior team includes HWGP Ratnasiri, KG Padmasiri, DG Udaya Kumar and PSSP Fernando. The junior team comprises JMT Deshan of St. Sylvester's College and Malit Bandral of Royal College, Colombo. The Seychelles event will feature 20 boxers from 5 nations, including Sri Lanka, Seychelles, Mauritius, Kenya, and a French overseas department competing in celebration of the island's nation's Constitution Day on the 18th of June. That ends the sports news.
Go ekakthiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීත හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Unilever Sri Lanka recently inaugurated a new 2.33 megawatt solar power project at its Horana factory, partnering with Abans Electricals PLC for project execution. This significant step forward in Unilever's commitment to sustainability and renewable energy represents a total investment of 1.3 million euros. The project aligns with the Unilever's global climate transition action plan and contributes to the ambitious goals set by the Sri Lankan Minister of Electricity and Energy for transitions the country's electricity supply to renewable sources by 2030. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Moving on to economic news, Foreign Minister Ali Sabri, who is currently in Russia to participate in the BRICS 2024 Foreign Ministerial Session with developing countries, had a bilateral meeting with the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov yesterday. During the meeting, the two foreign ministers agreed to further enhance bilateral ties, including in the spheres of tourism, higher education and economic cooperation. That ends economic news.
Weather report.
Showers in Lanka at times in the western Samragama and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara, Gol and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 mm, likely at some places in the western and Samragama provinces. Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in the Ur province in the evening or night. Strong winds of about 40 to 50 km per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the central hills, northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee, Hambantota and Monragala districts. That ends weather report. To wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines. The Committee on Public Finance directs to take immediate measures to regulate online casinos. Operations of the Western Region Solid Waste Management Project will commence in August. Bilateral ties between Russia and Sri Lanka are further enhanced. The final draft of first Charter on Patient Safety presented to Parliament Committee. Plans are underway to finalize the draft of the new bill with provisions for the disabled community. Foreign news, UN Security Council backs US-Israel Gaza ceasefire plan. Sports news, boxing. Boxers for Seychelles Constitutional Day Tournament are named. With that, we bring to an end the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka. Back to my good friend and yours, Chandima Pirakon.